Hello, I'm Ariana CP Hunter, real estate broker, financial expert. Today we're going to be talking about, the current situation and what you should do as far as finances. Well, the very first thing you should do is don't panic. Don't panic and start writing. Start writing what your goals are, and survival is number one, right? So, very first thing is when you go purchase, make sure you have a list in purchase, but don't over purchase things that because you're scared that you'll need no more, because a lot of people are using their credit card to do these purchases or use their cash. And if you are going to be in an industry where you're going to have cutbacks or even layoffs, then you will need this money. So have a balance. Yes, get your necessities, but don't over purchase. Don't overextend yourself, because the time passes. Every 30 days we're going to have to deal with the bills, and unfortunately everything is kind of a standstill, and you lose 1 week, you lose 2 weeks, and before you know it, the end of the month, and you have to pay your bills. A lot of people are hoping that the credit card companies will give people a break uh, for this month. Maybe they will, but at this point I haven't heard anything about that so far. Only the immediate people who've been affected. Other than that, if you are affected indirectly by losing hours, that they still don't have anything, a product for that type of individual. Now, you need to have $1,200 minimum in your savings cash, minimum. So now, if you do not, then the very first thing you need to do is take a look at the budget and take a look at things that you really don't need. If you need to cut back, I know we're gonna have to be in lockdown and perhaps not go out much, but there's other sorts of entertaining that you could do. You could read, you could paint, you could fix your house, do all those projects that you were behind, you never had time, because you need to save. And you need to save $1,200, and it's not forever, it's just until you gather that money, especially because we don't know what's coming. So uncertainty makes people anguish. Even worse, people who are already running late in their bills now have to deal with this situation. And people who are in the service industry, it's already in a stable life in that sense. Now it's going to they're the number ones affected. So, like I said, this is just a plan for immediately to gather your $1,200, sell whatever you can, um, get rid of stuff you don't need, make a cleanup, go through your things, and see if you could get any money out of that. Subscriptions that you don't need, revise all your subscriptions, because there's a lot of money that goes to subscriptions that we don't revise. Things, see if you could get a better plan in your phone rate. See if you could cut the cable if not needed. Anything, even your insurance. If you have more than one vehicle, take them out of the insurance. If they're sitting parked, anything of that nature, revise that very zealously, because you need to have that saving built. Now, what you do when you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Don't. You have to think it through. Sometimes you just need a moment and write it. It's people who have stocks and bonds. Check with your professional about those things. Um, it's scary. It's scary. The market is scary to see your all your money go down, and then you want to sell, but then remember you're gonna lose. For that, follow up with your professional who specializes in stocks and bonds and in investments. Now, as far as creating this budget, um, like I said, get rid of things that you don't need. Write, write, and write some more. Write a list for everything that will help you clarify which direction you want to do. And if not, reach out to any professional and to help you go through this time. I know it's panic mode for a lot of people. Don't worry, everything shall pass. Nothing is forever. Sometimes writing down it makes it easier to digest and to have a better plan. So the plan number one is, if you have less debt, you will have less anguish, even though the uncertainty is for everyone. But for those who are already falling behind, remember that your basics are the most important, to cover your basics, which is your housing, water, and light. food. Those are your basics. Everything else is luxury and not necessarily a necessity. So those things could be cut. And like I said, it's not forever. Just especially if you having doubts about your employer, doubt about your job. So be going to the frugal side. That's my recommendation. Don't worry, everybody. It will pass. In the meantime, budget down. I hope this has helped you. And everybody be well.